Hola.
So we have a.
Yeah, that's a good pan out, Justin. I can see everyone. Well,
Okay.
up to Andrew. I can't see general counsel. There we go. Like that. Thank you. Yeah, that's better. Thank you.
In 1 second. Get started.
Like the beat being live. We are. I hope so. I didn't. Something. Make the lights. Like the light.
You ready to get this yo-yo started?
Just finish a couple more.
So these four cells.
No? Okay. Don't mess with it. Ah. Works for me. You're making it higher. There you go. Hello, hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Test. Test.
Yes, I can hear you.
I should call it start back. Oh, yeah, maybe.
Oh,
Hello.
you doing it.
Test. Test.
There's a lot of reverb. Yeah.
comments on this item, or are there any members of the public on the call that wish to make public comments?
No, we have not received any comments or speaker cards for this item. But if there's anyone in our audience that wishes to speak, now's the time. And is there anyone at the teleconference location who wishes to speak?
I think we're getting an echo from somewhere. Do we know whose laptop is causing the echo?
One of the laptops.
One of them should be on mute.
Turn off your speakers.
Yeah.
Why are we recording this portion? Because it's not, this portion doesn't need to be recorded, does it, Ms. Nicole?
This is a special meeting, Madam President, so I would suggest that we record it and hear it all at the standard special meeting rules.
Sure.
President Sutter, are you able to hear us effectively speak here?
I can now. Earlier, no, but I can now.
But you can hear now.
I can hear now. You're coming through exceptionally clear, David.
Okay, I think it's because of my voice.
No, it's beautifully clear.
All right, thank you.
So we have no public comment.
Okay, thank you. At this time, I have a couple of comments about COVID protocol, and then I'll turn it over to Justin Lovell, our Director of Administrative Services, to walk us through this item. Just a reminder, we're back. Welcome back. We're here for our first in-person meeting in like 3 years. And the governor has recently issued his statement of the proclamation terminating the state's COVID-19 state of emergency. I just want to note that also in that announcement from the governor, they do mention that they do have a plan to address, quote, the next phase of the COVID-19 pandemic. So he is ending the state of emergency. He's not declaring that the pandemic is over, but rather that we're moving into a different phase of it. And a couple of other interesting points he had made in there was that California had a death rate, unfortunately, of 255 people per 100,000. But compared to the national average of 339, it's a significant improvement over the national average in many of the states in the rest of the country. And we have 73% of our residents have been vaccinated. And as you'll see, I'm still wearing a mask because we have requested and continue to request our staff to wear masks when indoors associating with each other. And here at the meeting, we asked if people will, and if you're eating or speaking, please take it off. And it's not a requirement for the board and the public, but we'll talk about that a little bit, part of those discussions and part of how we want to run these live board meetings. And we review this about every 2 weeks and have been for 3 years, what protocols we want to use within the agency with our own staff. And we'll be reviewing that again and seeing if it's time to make some changes there. But what we followed from the beginning and will continue to follow is not necessarily the proclamations or the statements from the elected officials, but primarily following that of the county health department and their advice. And they continue to say that wearing a mask is an easy way to help stop your respiratory droplets from reaching others and to avoid breathing in droplets from others. A very simple statement and a comment from the public health officer. And so we take that into consideration, but we also take into consideration all the other factors. And so we'll be discussing that for internally with staff, and it's something that Justin will lead us through a discussion here for board meetings themselves. That's all I have, Justin.
I will take off my mask so I can project my voice a little bit. I'll start off with the technology front, just let you know kind of where we are tonight. This is a temporary setup. As you recall, the board approved a contract for AV upgrades for this boardroom about a month ago, and we're as with many products, there is a delay in a shipping and a supply chain. So the 2 cameras that we need for the boardroom have not been received yet from our contractor. And so we haven't been able to finish the work. They have started, they've done a lot of cable pulling. So we're hopeful that by the Finance and Administration Committee meeting on March 9th, that the system will be set up and configured the way that. But tonight we have essentially a conference room camera with video so we can at least stream. And we have one microphone that's kind of up the front. We tested it out. It can pick up everybody's voice along here, as long as you're projecting when you're speaking. The camera will auto focus on where it hears the voice is coming from. So these mics that you have in front of you, those are not live, they're disconnected, but they will be reconnected. So once the whole project is complete and we have all our audio visual upgrades complete for this boardroom, the mics there will be working, and we can go over that at the future board meeting, just how to unmute yourself, just so you can remember what to do. So just kind of changes. I'm just going back to how we were 3 years ago was the last time we had an in-person meeting. Our protocol then was there were 5 laptops, one for each board member, and then that laptop was preloaded with the agenda software. This was before we had our current agenda software, which is iCompass. You receive an email, you can go click in the link, you can remotely see it. All the board members and all of you have brought either a tablet or laptop, so you can access the agenda packet remotely. So I think that's our first discussion is, you bring in your device. We have spares if you forgot one in a future board meeting. Is this will this work for you? What are some of your preferences in maybe to bring in your laptop or having something provided for you during the board meetings? It's our first point of discussion.
Okay, well, why don't we start from the far down to my left, Director Ventila?
David, can I have a point of order really quick?
Sure.
I just wanted to say for the audience where I am and that you're sharing the meeting. Or did you want to just tell them?
No. Go right ahead.
Just for the record, because I wanted to see it for the record. Good evening. I actually am not in attendance in person in this meeting. That's why you see that empty seat. I am in attendance at our Casa in Aqua Conference in Washington, D.C. And I will give a report later on in this meeting. So Director Alvarado, Vice President Alvarado actually will be chairing this meeting. And I believe he's going to make an appointment of the parliamentarian for this evening. So I will be sitting back for the night. So I just needed to say that for the record. Okay, sir. Thank you.
So much. And the parliamentarian for tonight's meeting will be our attorney. The first order of business is Justin would ask for some comments on the laptops, correct?
On the laptops, whether provided, or are you okay with bringing your own district provided laptop?
Okay. Director Ventila?
I'm fine with this laptop.
Bring your laptop with you to the meetings?
The district laptop will be fine.
Okay. Director King Meredith?
Yes, I'm fine with the district laptop also.
Okay.
Staff here, so I'm fine.
Sounds good. Director Wiener?
I'm okay with this.
And I am okay with it with my tablet. Bringing my tablet. President Senate?
Yes, I'm fine with that, especially with the caveat that if someone neglects to bring theirs, that there is a spare that's available to them.
Okay, great.
That will be said. Thank you.
Thank you for the input, everyone. Justin?
Yeah, so just for tonight's meeting on just the technology front, it's, we've gone through, the microphones in front of you are not working, but if you are logged into the Zoom meeting, just make sure you're, so we don't have feedback, is to turn off your speakers and mute yourself, because everything's on the speaker, the microphone that's up here that's grabbing everybody's voice. So I think that's kind of the high level on the technology front. So we can move on. It should be, knock on wood, once everything's upgraded, it should be fairly seamless for you just to come in the board meeting. We'll have cameras kind of up on the wall, we'll have things for. So for the future board meetings, once all our upgrades are complete, so, yeah, yes.
Yeah, I did mute my cell phones and is it a problem to have a second laptop with us? But it's just easy to look at the agenda and skip around.
No, I know that shouldn't be any issue for, yeah, whatever makes the most sense for you to be able to access the documents you need for the meeting. Yeah.
This format we're doing now has a Zoom meeting, we're in person. And we're being recorded alternately. Will we also have a Zoom meeting or just our agenda on our laptops?
For the future meetings, it will be, you will not be logged into a Zoom meeting as a director like we have. We are looking at having a Zoom meeting option available for the public. But as a board member attending here in person, you will not need to log into Zoom. You just show up and the cameras will go through Zoom and record the meeting that way, but you can just participate without it.
So will they follow the voice of the speaker? So in other words, will be highlighted video of the speaker?
Yeah, from my understanding of the products that we're ordering, it's tied to the microphone. So exactly as explained. So whoever's speaking, the camera will go to the person who's speaking, and then we also have control. I believe we'll also have control to kind of bring the camera back out if we wanted to show the whole boardroom at the same time. Okay. If there's no more questions on that, I think the next
question. I just noticed that on Director Wiener's screen, he was asking about when the camera zero in. He has a different display. Were you, when we speak now, Director Wiener, we can see how it zeroes in, or are you just being able to show the people as well as the camera changing its angle?
No, I'm on Zoom, and this is a typical Zoom display. And there is another camera angle from the clerk.
Okay, yeah.
Everybody has their own camera on their laptop. So I mean,
Who's got that?
Yeah, it's yours.
Mine's just like yours.
Director Antino.
Yeah, let's go. Can you tell us how those sessions will be handled?
So the closed sessions, if they're in the board meeting, I can only talk about what we did in the past, is we would record the very first opening public piece where we call the meeting to order, and then whatever needs to be said before we go to closed session, and then the recording stops. The board has historically met in this room. We just kind of turned everything off. And then whoever doesn't need to be, the board will continue to be here in closed session, you close the door, and then whenever you're done, come back in and open up the meeting. Yes.
Just a question. I want to something a little bit more, how do I zoom in?
I think with your particular camera, like if it's just the camera from your laptop, I don't believe there's ability to zoom in. It's kind of the auto focus on your laptop.
Or in a little bit more on my torso.
I think that the other option would have to get you a stand, so then the camera would be up a little bit higher, or your laptop would be physically higher. Okay. Anything else on the technology center? Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next one, I know, and Andrew just talked about it on mask. So it's, as the board meetings, they're not required, except for us as staff. When we're in the offices, that all the staff and visitors during the working hours, we're requiring everybody to wear a mask. So as a board, at the board meetings, it's kind of weird, and as Andrew mentioned, it'll be at your kind of discretion, whether you want to wear a mask or not wear a mask. Any thoughts on kind of mask wearing during board meetings for the board?
Safety first.
Dr. Antilda, that's your comments? Okay. Dr. King Meredith?
Well, I'm okay, but I'm glad that we have the luxury of probably taking off if I get a little bit too long.
Okay.
So one of that statement. In
Director Weiner?
Mr. President, I left my. Yes,
But how do you feel about wearing a mask?
I am asked.
Okay. And I encourage you to wear a mask if you feel that you need the mask. You know, and I'll make my own decision wearing a mask or not when it arises. And President Sedif?
Yes, I think the masks are a good idea. I just had a question. Are we requiring a specific type of mask? Like an N95 mask, a KN95 mask for the staff, Andrew or Justin? Or are we just letting them wear mask, any kind of mask? Or do we have a specific requirement?
Our requirement on masks for staff is if you're, you need to wear a mask at all times, it doesn't matter, it can be a cloth mask. Except if you were working in close proximity, traveling in vehicle together, you know, down in a lift station, working together, then we require the N95 or the KN95 mask. But other than that, if you're just in the building, it was a cloth mask, and if you chose to have a more protective mask, that's fine, and we do have them available, make them available to staff if they want.
Okay, and then my second question is, can we just keep a box of masks in the boardroom for visitors in case they just forgot them and perhaps they do want to wear them, even if they choose to wear them or not to use them? So when we make the announcement, we'll have the mask available.
Yeah, we actually do tonight. We have masks available, so we'll make sure that we keep the box of masks in.
Okay, that was it. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Right, and so I think,
Justin,
yeah, go ahead.
just as part of that, on you know, entering the building, there's no longer it doesn't say mask required or must wear masks if the public chose to come to tonight's meeting and we're here. It's discretionary on their part, but we are asking and have that posted. You know, we request that you do wear a mask, but that we wanted to make sure that the board was comfortable with that from the standpoint of holding the public meeting. And we wanted to do that. We were, you know, trying to encourage it and demonstrate it, but really at this point, there's no other mandates. And so we didn't want to get into that kind of confrontation with the public. If somebody was refusing to wear a mask, we weren't going to, you know, move them out of the room or say they can't be here or anything like that. That was how we're approaching it.
I think that's the right thing to do, to encourage people to wear masks. Obviously, there's no mandate anymore. I don't think we have the right to mandate anyone wear it. You know.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I think the last item of discussion is, you know, as we're moving in person, you know, board meetings again. So we have historically provided dinner before the board meetings. We did have sandwiches tonight. So just want to get the board's take on, is that something you would like to continue? Whenever we have one of our regular board meetings on the first or third Wednesday, that would be the board's desire to have some food before the meeting.
Director Antila?
I see no problem with that.
I'm okay with it, yes.
Director Weiner? I'm also fine with that. President Sedif?
Of course, as long as something I can eat.
Well, we actually do have some forms that we had in the past that I'll ask each of the board members to fill out on food preferences, so we can know where to go and make sure everybody has something that you'd be able to eat for sure.
On that note, Vice President Alvarado, may I just say something?
Sure.
I will bring to you guys' attention that Ramadan is starting on the 23rd of the month. So there's a couple of days that we have board meetings where I will have to ask for a break to stay away.
I don't think we quite understood what you were saying.
Ramadan is starting on the 23rd of March. So
Okay,
there are a couple of meetings where I will have to ask for a break in the meeting, so I have to step away for prayer and then come back. So I wanted to bring that up right now because he's talking about food. So it just sparked my memory
gotcha.
to say that. So I wanted to say that now because we're live in person. It's different when I can step away at my house. So Daisy is in March and April. And it looks like Director Wiener wants your attention.
So does the fast end at dark? Director Sutter?
Well, it's technically it says sundown, but it's not necessarily dark. It's when the sun hits the horizon, so it's different. It depends on the time. Sometimes it's not till 8 p.m.
So maybe we need to make an exception so you can eat during the meeting if the sun has gone down.
Mhm.
Just to break the fast. I don't need to eat a whole meal, just to break the fast.
You understand, gotta eat.
That's it. Because you were talking about food, I wanted to bring it up in that context. That's it.
Very good.
Yeah, I think that that's kind of the end. Just one last piece, you know, we do have the dividers in here, so I think that we'll keep those as long as you would like to have the dividers between each of you who's sitting up here on the dais. And one of the other projects that we're working on that we should have in the next several weeks is kind of new furniture, so we can have a slightly different layout and just have it more. We have multi-use space in the boardroom. So that will just be one of the differences that you see at one of the future board meetings. Let's have different chairs. We're looking at getting a new podium with our logo on it. So we can just, everything will be matching when we have a little bit more space in here to spread out. And then also if we needed to have more people, we could have more people sitting inside as well.
Great.
All right, that's the end of the presentation that I have. Any other questions? Have an answer.
Justin, since we're talking about board meetings and training and IT issues, perhaps maybe are there any other IT type trainings or review or information that the board would be interested in hearing from that we could update, you know, during a brief training session in future board meetings? Nope, everybody's good with using the computers and logging on and knowing how to use all the parts of it.
But if there does anything come up, you know, let me know. We have the computer if it gets more technical. But we're also keenly here. You know, one of us can help out and just make sure you're working. Your technology is working for you.
Looks like your camera went out.
We lost our camera. So let's see. We might have to unplug and plug it in.
It went out right when you said, do we have any technology issues?
Yeah.
Well, we'll
I think it'll.
It was great timing.
We can still see you.
Still see. Yeah.
wanted to have
Well, I
this
just wanted to
meeting
have
to try to work through these things.
No, that's why we're meeting early. That's why we're meeting early. We're fine.
Let's see. Start the video again. Let's see what this is. There we go.
That's
you go.
fair.
We're
Sorry,
back.
do a quick
Oh,
reset.
we were for a second.
Yeah, I
Now,
think that's good.
now we're back.
Yeah, was there one more question?
No, I think that's good.
Quick question, talking about technology, what was the purpose of having this PC and then an iPhone? As opposed to Mac?
I think just on our standard equipment, you know, it's since we provide a PC to everybody on staff, we don't have anybody who has a Mac. I think that's something we could look into if that was, you know, as a request of the director to get a Mac. For many of us on the staff side, we do need a PC because some of the programs that we're operating will not operate on the Mac. But you know, I think we're happy to look at how that would work for you if that was a request, something that you prefer to have.
No, I was just curious because I have the opposite at home, but not have. So I can see together.
Sure, yeah, no, it was just kind of our standard specifications for laptops is our PCs, and so we just kind of provided the directors with the same style laptops that all the PCs as well.
Do we have anything further on?
No,
agenda?
that is all, that's all I have.
All right, it's 6:05, so we could probably adjourn this meeting to 6:30, correct?
During this meeting and the board meeting is regular meeting at 6:30.
All right, so it's 6:04. And we'll adjourn this meeting and come back at 6:30 for the regular meeting.
Okay, and we will use the other link, correct, Justin?
Stop.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll go into the other Zoom link after this. So yeah, we'll close this meeting and we'll let you in at 6:30, slightly before 6:30.
And I'll use the other link. I'll log in about 10 minutes before.
Right,
Okay, thank you.
yeah, you can.